I've been doing this research for about 12 years now, but I'd say it's only within the last year or two that I finally realized that the search engine is a very peculiar form of control. It's very odd. It's giving you lists, list after list after list, and psychologists have been studying list effects for well over 100 years. A man named Ebbinghaus, a German, he worked on himself. He tried memorizing lists of nonsense syllables, and he found out generally that he would remember the first item on the list best, and then the last item on the list almost as often. But the stuff in the middle, tougher to remember.
Yeah,
So,
people will
so
recognize that as the primacy and recency effect. It is quite sort of well known in popular psychology, isn't it? So
yes,
how
it's
does it
one.
refer to Google?
Oh, very, very much so, because this kind of effect is one of many list effects that have been studied. There's one that's relevant to the issue you raised about elections. It turns out that if you list candidates in a fixed order, say alphabetical by last name, well, being at the top of that list gets you more votes. Quite a few, actually, 5% or more, which can easily flip a close election. So there are many list effects, but the search engine is unique, absolutely unique in the kind of list effect it has, because it's training you like you're a rat in a Skinner box. Because 84% of the time, it's reinforcing clicks to the top item. It's reinforcing attention to the top item because it's giving you the correct answer at the top.
So when you're Googling a fact-based question, as you said.
Yes, and which is most of the time. So it's a list effect that is supplemented by a regimen of operant conditioning that never stops. Now, this normally doesn't happen with other list effects. In fact, I don't know any other list effect like this, where there's this constant training going on. So the point is, when you do finally say, who's the best candidate, or you say, what's the best restaurant in London, the fact is you are going to trust what's at the top. And I thought, well, you know what, if they have that much value, if people think that higher results are somehow better or truer, could I use high-ranking search results to shift people's thinking or opinions or votes? Could I do that? And so I set up, I did what I always do. I set up a controlled experiment. I made a prediction in advance, which I always do. I thought that if I put favorable search results, that is search results leading to web pages that make one candidate look really good compared to the other. So if I put favorable search results for one candidate at the top for one group of people, and for another group, and this is with random assignment, I put the opposing candidate at the top, could I shift people's opinions about the candidates, and could I even shift perhaps their voting preferences? I thought I could. I predicted that I could produce a shift of 2 or 3%, which doesn't sound like much, but as a matter of fact, in a very close election, and a lot of national elections are very close, that could flip an election. So that was my prediction, 2 or 3%. So we ran the experiment with a pretty good representative sample of voters in the US. In other words, we didn't do this in a classroom. We didn't do it with college students. We actually recruited representative sample of voters. And we got a shift in that first experiment of, I believe, 43%. Which
a little higher than the 2-3% you thought.
Oh, how very British of you. A little higher, yeah. So I thought it was a mistake, because that happens all the time in research. So we replicated the experiment with another group, which is expensive because we have to pay everybody. And we got a shift of, I think, over 60%.